Oh, am I recording? Man. Hi, you made it. I made it. Welcome aboard. I was just over on YouTube trying to put together a live for you, but I'm having a little problem with computer. It's just coming out pixelated and delayed. I am going to start coming on live and sharing with you my kind of creative process for digital design and visual storytelling for Galactic Astrology reports, which is what I wanted to come on today. I was going to make a graphic for this Lionsgate. However, my live stream, I'm unable to do that live. So I might save the design for another time. But right now, let's just talk about the Lionsgate. So, what is it? The Lionsgate, this one specifically, is referring to a portal that is open, or a threshold, or a time when you are able to connect very closely to your higher selves or parts of yourselves, maybe from the Lyra constellation or with Sirius. This portal lasts from today, which is 8/8, through the solar eclipse, which is on 8/12, and will end with a lunar eclipse on 8/28. Right now, also, the sun is in Leo, and Jupiter is conjunct with Osiris and Isis, the asteroids. And what else was there? There was one more thing. Oh, if I can think. I forget at the moment. That said, what does this mean? This means that you have a very clear, unobstructed opportunity to engage your multidimensional selves and step into and embody the higher aspects of yourselves and ground it right into who you are right now. And I was meeting with a beautiful group of women this morning, and we kept circling around this idea of authenticity. When you are able to stand in and be yourself with no filter, it's just you, and you're walking and moving and expressing yourself as yourself. You're not running through filters of what should I be? Am I able to be this here? Am I just, we have so many filters that we run through before we, from our self to where we show up in our lives. And these filters can diminish, kind of dim who we are naturally. Are these filters coming from our own minds? Are these filters coming from past life experiences or past trauma to our egos or to our bodies? Do we feel unsafe in our bodies? And so we're unable to really embody and feel safe and secure and authentic. I got a short, I was doing some scrolling and I had something show up in my shorts, and I am going to share this at a later date and make a video, but it was a test done on frequency scales, and it paralleled the work of David Hawkins, where when we're feeling fear, insecurity, shame, our energy fields are a little depleted. They're not feeling so great. But when we're feeling joy or standing in love, then our frequency is and our energy field increases. Well, there's one thing that I haven't seen on David Hawkins' scale, frequency scale, and it is authenticity. And something came up in my feed, and it was a study done on either 2,500 or 25,000 individuals. It was in Washington. I believe it was from a university up there. I did look up the study. The study did actually happen, and the tools that they had were able to read the aura and energy and frequency of individuals, and they measured through those range all the ranges of emotions that we share. And for there they were able to isolate the feeling of authenticity and capture a measurement of it there as well. And this measurement was surpassed even the frequency that our bodies emit in a state of love. The highest state of frequency in our human form, according to these recordings and tests, is authenticity. When you're standing in who you are and you're remembering everything and you are feeling and you know without a doubt you are fully embodying remembrance, you are fully embodying your higher self, your multidimensional self. When you are standing in authenticity and not hindered by any 3D experience that may exist here on this planet, when you are fully authentic, that is when your field is engaging with the cosmos. Mm. And when you are authentic, also what you are emanating is healing, assisting, and uplifting the people around you. When we are moving through life and we're timid or shy, afraid, insecure, and these are natural feelings, but you are meant to transcend these feelings. You are meant to, yeah, transcend, to heal, to move through, recalibrate those traumatic experiences that are causing us grief or trauma. You are meant and you have the right, it is your sovereign right to feel relief. It is your sovereign right to feel safe and secure and stand in who you are without feeling threatened by anything. I hope that I'm making sense right now. I just, this over the next couple of weeks, just kind of think about that. Think about, who am I? When you're alone by yourself, do you carry the exact same parts of you? Are you presenting that to the world around you? I always tell my kids to stand in truth with love on your heart. From that angle, view and move through the world. And if you're not standing in truth, and if you're not standing in truth with love on your heart, you're going to get bumpy. It's going to get bumpalicious out there, bumpity doo. But you know what? You're meant to take those bumps and figure them out. And that's what being here in our 3D selves and our minds are we're meant to move through and evolve and past this. And if any of you out there are light workers or star seeds, or if you remember your multidimensional self, then we come calibrated and we come with innate tools to just whoosh, we can transcend this stuff. It's easy to get stuck in the loops and the dramas, and it's easy to get stuck there, but you do not have to stay there, and you have the right to just kink, just move over, just shift it a little bit, stand in truth with love on your heart. Look at what is troubling you personally. Stand in truth with love on your heart. Look at what is troubling your community. Stand in truth with love on your heart. Look at what's happening to the world. When we are balanced and we're standing in truth with love on our heart, all of the issues and all of the things that are happening, all of these polarizing incidents happening within, without, you will get a new way of looking at it. And it's like you're cool, calm, and collective, and you're going to cut through all the bullshit. That's what it feels like to me when I'm feeling authentic. I'm just seeing things in a different way. It's just, I just see right through things. I can see exactly what's going on. And I think that when you're in your authentic self, again, I'm going to call it standing in truth with love on your heart. And, I lost my thought. Pew, went away. I was going to say something about that, but let's just move right along, because I was going to do some designing with you right now, but I think what I want to do is show you what it looks like to be a star seed from Lyra. And while doing that, I'm going to share a story with you. So, and let's see, share settings. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me put my glasses on. Voila. So the reason why I'm wearing a beret and this like black and white striped shirt today is because my earth lineage, my maternal lineage on earth is Basque French. And my family was in one region for almost 400 years, and they grew grapes. So, and my name's Brandy. So we're the real deal on that side of the family. Like, we are winemakers. Our last name was Rousse, which is red. We come from a region called Roussillon. And in one place for hundreds of years, my family gave birth, they got married, they grew grapes, they just, it's a beautiful story. But we are Basque French, and if you don't know who Basque are, they are they are they're not French, and they are not Spanish. And it is a group of people that live in between Spain and live in between France in the Pyrenees Mountains. And this is where my family comes from. They came from the mountains and settled down near the Tet River and started growing grapes. But we are Basque. And I say French Basque because we were speaking French. We were on the French side of the Pyrenees, but the Basque are from the Pyrenees Mountains, and they have their own dialect, their own language. It is not a romantic language. It's not a Germanic language. So it's very interesting. And I've got stories about that. But for now, I want to share with you a really cool story about contact that I had with some Lyran beings and how that came to be. Let me put my glasses back on. Now, first off, I want to show you something very cool, how to figure out if you are a star seed from Lyra. And there is a beautiful tool called galacticastrochart.com. If you go here and enter your birth details, you're going to get some very cool data back at you. And let's go into my charts, and we're going to look up my Nana. Let's see. I'm going to type in my Nana's birthday here. I'm going to add a new chart. And when you go to Galactic Astro Chart, I think it's under free reports, you have the ability to enter your birth details. And so there's a little drop down menu on the day. I'm going to put my Nana's birth date was July 14th. So I'm putting the day as 14, the month July, and the year 1930. And she was born at 7 7:45 a.m. And so there you have it. And I'm going to put the location. You will need the location if you want this information. Bell, California. Just if you start to type, it'll auto-populate and come up with some options. She's in Bell, California. And let's see, I want to make sure that I'm going to get, you have the option to choose which planets. And I'm going to say that's exactly what I want. Yes, for my Nana. There's also asteroids that you can include on your report. So I'm going to pop in a couple asteroids that are important. And trans-Neptunian, stars. I want all the stars. I want all the stars. Ooh, deep space selection. We're going to get all, and we're going to generate. And I'm going to save this. This is Manana. Now I have an account. I don't see, I'll say personal. And I don't know what options you have with the free account at the moment. So that's how you generate your galactic astro chart. Now, if I go here under options, I want my chart star wheel to show all the stars with major aspects. And I want the star and constellation names. And this will bring you to this, what I call a galactic natal chart. And these are all of the stars that my Nana has aspects to, that she has some type of alignment to in her charts. I'm going to go over here and peek at this report right here. And I want to show you something. So if I look at each line, first I'm seeing the sun. And if I go across, it's going to show me all of the fixed stars that are aligned with sun and moon and ascendant and so on. It goes on, and it will have all of the points that you have requested and all of the planets and all of their alignments. And so on this particular chart, I want to show you what a Lyran star seed looks like and what markers you may have on your galactic report that will, oh, there's a camera, that will indicate that you are indeed a Lyran star seed. So my Nana has opposite her sun, she has Lyra, the star Solifat, and the ring nebula. So she's got one strong alignment with the sun. She also has a trine alignment with her midheaven with Solifat. She also has her E. coli. I know that's not E. coli. I forget what that is called. So, you know, the bottom of the midheaven down there on your chart. She'll have her sextile with Solifat. But I'm going to hold up one finger right now because I'm really looking at the conjunct and opposite alignments. She has an opposite alignment with her Mercury. She's got Solifat and the ring nebula in Cancer in the 11th house. And down here, she has Pluto. She has Pluto opposite a ring nebula, Chiliac, and Solifat. And she's got her vertex conjunct with Allophar. So she has three points in her chart and three planets in her chart that have very strong alignments to the Lyra constellation. So we'll go look at her chart here for a minute. And so what does that mean? So she had here I'm actually, let's just kind of study this chart. I'm going to copy this chart. And again, this is Julia Balazs, galacticastrochart.com. Anybody can go there and look at these and pull up your own chart. If you need any assistance at all in interpreting what does it mean, please go to my website, which is ourgalacticstory.com. And there's a mini reading that may fit your budget, and we can just kind of glance at everything and see what you got going on. I specifically want to talk about my nanas, so I'm going to go somewhere where I can mark this up. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over to my Zoom. I'm going to do a new, we'll just do a presentation over here. So I'm going to do some work on my Nana's chart. But I wanted to bring this image over here. Oh, there we go. Paste. I'm going to paste my Nana's galactic natal chart. Well, that didn't work. Let's go back here. I'm going to go back to, oh wait, I was over here. No, I wasn't. I was over here. Okay, I'm going to right click it, copy. I don't know if that will work. I may need to download it. Nope, not going to work right now. Okay, so I am going to download a ping of this chart image. Oh, right there, copy. Let's try that. And I'm going to right click and paste it right into my, let's go. Let's go. Okay. So I just want to first point out the opposite alignments that my Nana has. I'm going to go grab a red circle over here. I'm actually going to grab a green circle over here. We'll go here. I'm going to make this a little smaller. And what we're looking at right now is a Lyran Starseeds Galactic Astro chart. This is a very strong Lyran Starseed right here. And let's see, she's got Sun, Mercury, and Pluto. All of these are opposite the Ring Nebula and Solifat. And I'm going to duplicate that. Or no, let's delete that. And then she also has, what was conjunct? Oh, it was her vertex right here. The vertex is conjunct, I think, Sheliak and Solifat, if I remember correctly. She's got a conjunct there. So, oh, just with her vertex. I'm just going to circle the vertex. And then she's got the Sun, Pluto, and Mercury. So the Pluto shows me that those are her soul origins, usually the very outer planets of our solar system, whatever fixed stars that you have conjunct or opposite to Pluto, and then Neptune and Uranus, but the ones to the farthest planet, which in this case would be Pluto, are going to point to the where you very first incarnated when you came into this area of the cosmos, this region of the universe, if you will. And in this case, when my Nana came in, she came in through Lyra. Lyra was one of the first places that she landed. And it was very evident in her when I look back at her personality. This is before I even understood about Lyra, the history, the species, some of the beings that are coming from that. What does that mean? Let's see. I also just wanted to, we'll just leave that there for now because I want to show you some other stuff. So I know that my Nana is a Lyran starseed because she has the Sun, Mercury, and Pluto opposite to the Lyran constellation. And she also has Vertex. Now, Vertex is just kind of like, it's almost like a destiny point. It's like where you're going. It's kind of like you have no choice other than to go there and move through the whatever placement you have or whatever house. In this case, this is, let me just get into it a little bit here, but vertex is with Capricorn and in the fifth house. So that tells me that my Nana is kind of like destined to be this artistic being. It's kind of just who she is. And um, it it's kind of how she expresses the highest part of herself, and probably other people are going to see her as being this very well organized, very regimented, and very um yeah, very organized and methodical in her art, or how she even expresses herself in a joyful way. And this is kind of how other people are going to see her too. I know her from the back end, so I'm kind of front loaded, if you will, about her personality type and how and why that vertex, um, how it kind of like played out in her life. That said, with the vertex conjunct Shiliak, you know what? My Nana was just actually an incredible artist as well. And so I think that her experiences and her lifetimes within the Lyran constellation were naturally flowing through her. She was just kind of like diplomatic in her own life. Again, I think this has to do with the the Capricorn energies coming in, and everyone around kind of saw her as that, and it was her destiny, and she was meant to have um, be able to express herself, and she was given everything that she needed in order to be able to communicate through her creations. Um, So I don't want to spend too much time here, but with these Lyran constellations coming up, it just, they really influenced, and her lifetimes and her experiences within Lyran constellation absolutely influenced the way she communicated and the way she processed things, and also how others saw her. I will say that anybody that knew my Nana, if I were to say to them that she had these connections and these alignments with these star systems that had these beautiful like cat-like feline humanoids, all of them would be like, huh, I can see that in Nana. Like, huh, you know, they don't know anything about the species that are existing through the galaxies, but if I were to say that Nana has these connections with these cat-like beings, huh, it totally and completely makes sense to the kind of woman that my Nana was. For my Nana was very royal, very, very beautiful, very autistic, and very stoic as well. Like, she had a way, and she did not bullshit. She was straight to the point. She didn't do, she didn't have like fluffy talks. She was a badass, and she was like beautiful, you know, not like the badass who's like the clunky warrior who shows up and kicks ass. My Nana was like very regal, and she would stand back and say one sentence where other people would take multiple paragraphs to say. My Nana could say one thing. And so my point is that there's so many Lyran uh, traits that my Nana just exemplified. So what we're looking at here is basically a little slideshow that revolves around Lyra. Now, if you were to get a galactic astrology reading from me, and we did a report this, and you had Lyran connections, this would be included in your report. Most star systems, I have created these slideshows. They're like information, lots of data and information revolving around the constellations that are found on the galactic astro chart and that are found on your natal chart. And again, this is one that I've put together for Lyra. And Lyra is represented by the harp. It's like one of the first things to weave in material matter in our part of the cosmos with sound and light. I just think that and it makes sense, right? That it's the cradle of humanity is Lyra. And so, again, if you were to get a galactic astrology report from me, I would be including this in your report so that you have everything that you needed to explore the constellation of Lyra, to include maps. Again, these are maps of Lyra. All of them will be linked to the website in which I got the map from. So that if you get this report and you click this image, it will link back to the website where I retrieved the image. And most of the images I get are either from Wikipedia, NASA, or ESA. So they're available to the public. Here we're looking at a map of Lyra, and I have blown up all of the stars that we track in galactic astrology. These are the stars found in the Lyran constellation that we are recording or looking for in your chart. We have Kepler 62 is not on there, but I included that in this Lyran pack or Lyran slideshow because I'll show you why in a moment. But we do have Adolphar, Solifat, the Ring Nebula, Sheliak, Vega, and Alathfar. And let me correct myself. I'm not sure that we track Adolphar, but we do track Alathfar. And so there's just beautiful images of the Ring Nebula. I mean, come on. Look at that. Ah, so beautiful. I've heard stories that the Ring Nebula is what the Sakaar were after when they came into the Lyran constellation long ago. And it was the catalyst, like them wanting to take the Ring Nebula was the catalyst for the invasion into the Lyran system, if I'm not mistaken. Most of these nebulas serve as they're very similar to the black holes in that they are openings to portals and wormholes for interstellar travel throughout the cosmos or from one place to the next. For instance, there's an Ontarian stargate going from Antares to Andromeda. Let's see here. So again, this slideshow has close-ups, more beautiful images of the stars found in the Lyran constellation. And also, I've included images that I've created that are reflecting experiencers' memory or interaction with Lyran beings and what they look like to certain individuals. Here on the upper left, this is a vegan. These are some Lyrans. These bottom two, this is what maybe a Lyran star seed might look like with wild red hair. Actually, many different looks that are, not trying to be too once you start organizing things on how humans look, it gets a little sticky sometimes, but there are certain traits that a Lyran may have, like green eyes or golden eyes. So a humanoid, an incarnated Lyran starseed. So I want to tell you a little story. Let me see if I can switch this view that we have here, my share screen view. Oh, nope, can't switch it, but I'm down there on the bottom. So I'm going to wrap up with a little story. But first, let me point something else out here. I wanted to let you know that Kepler 62 system. Here's some data coming from NASA on their interpretation of the planets, they're inhabitable, why they're inhabitable. And I've also included a slide here, and this is data and information coming straight from, it's probably in her new Galactic Encyclopedia books, but the work of Elena Danaan in her book, A Gift from the Stars, she details and titles the planets that are in the Kepler 62 system. It's a little outside the constellation as we know it. If you're looking up at the sky, you may have seen in the map, it's a little outside of the constellation per se, and to the right, to the left from our flat view of the map. That's where it would be if you were looking up. So the Kepler is a little outside, and Elena has a really cool little snippet and way of looking at Lyran history and galactic history through the Lyran Wars, and also the history of the different species that came out of there. For instance, each of these planets may have been predominantly different different cultures of Lyran beings. For instance, according to her book, Agoria, which is the second largest planet in the Kepler system as we know it, is they call Lan. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's the Lan culture or Lan beings, Lyran beings that are predominantly inhabiting Agoria. The Nor cultures are predominantly inhabiting the planet Tar. Ahel, which are predominantly inhabiting Maya, planet Maya, and Tal, which predominantly, oh, I had something incorrect here just there, but they predominantly inhabit Amonkara. So that's just fascinating when we can see kind of overlapping of things that are coming from NASA, and it lines right up with some of the data coming out of Elena Danaan's book. So if that's something that interests you, I recommend checking that out. I will also include, if you get a galactic astrology report from my website, ourgalacticstory.com, at the end, I will give to you some slides that have links for further study to include astronomical information and data, and links revolving around starseed mythology, lore, reality. Uh, for instance, I've got links going directly to Vashta's website, which has some of the most gorgeous images. I just love her artwork. These links here are going to Debbie Solaris. She has some pretty interesting stories and information from her perspective about the Lyran Wars. And then I also have included this beautiful Lyran starseed meditation from Sylvia on the Galactic Astrology YouTube channel, and a Galactic Astrology soul reading. I think this one was done by Julia Balaz herself. So just super cool stuff for you to explore if you have a Lyran alignment. So I am going to stop sharing my screen and then go back in and share because I'm going to stop sharing. Now I want to tell you a little story. And I'm going to share my screen again, but format it differently because I want to be big. Oh, no. And we're going to do this. Okay. Share. And there we are. We should be side by side. So many people talk about these Lyran humanoids that are coming from Lyra, the cradle of civilization over there. Now, I have had probably two, actually more. I probably have many that I don't remember, but I have had two that I remember right now, perhaps three, where I almost physically was interacting with beings that were not from my 3D world. They were, and I could practically touch them. It happened one time. I'll share that story another time, but the second time that this ever happened was during a Lionsgate portal about 4 or 5 years ago. And at that time, I was meditating every single day, multiple times. It was just part of my practice. I have not been meditating every day lately, and it really shows. And when we meditate, we really open ourselves up and sense into our energy bodies and able to interact with things around us from our energy bodies. That's what it does for me. I'm able to see things even more clearly than I do now. And so during this time, I was meditating every single day. And my Nana was in the process of transitioning. Now, we just looked at my Nana's charts, and she was loaded up with Lyran alignments. And one day I was walking with my wolf. I had a hybrid wolf for a long time, but her name was Banshee. So Banshee and I were just walking along through the farmland where I was. And then all of a sudden I took a step, whoosh, and I was in a completely different reality, a completely different dimension. And all of a sudden there was a lion creature, being that was right next to me. And it was right, and it was so excited. It was as if there was an exhilaration and excitement at us even coming together that I was even able to step in and see. It was like a beautifully timed chance moment that I was able to, we were seeing each other. It's not always easy for some to step into this multi-dimensional realm without putting so much effort into it. But this was just, again, I was walking along, whoosh, I step in, and there is a young male feline being so excited to see me. And I was so excited to see him. It was someone that I had known and that I knew dearly. And they were bouncing all around me. It was like an exhilaration. We exchange a lot of data and information and communication. I won't go into all of that. I just want to briefly share this story. But right behind him was another Lyran being, and this one had long hair and was wearing a hood, a cape, very similar to what Vashta. Let's go back here. Vashta, and I'm going to blow this up just so you can see it. There's these images on Vashta's site. It was a woman that looked like this. Just incredible. Oh, I forgot to put my story time. So I had this young feline male bouncing around me. And then there was a very composed, stoic, real centered being behind him. I took 2 steps. I had this complete exchange of data. And then as soon as I took that third step, whoosh, I was out of the field that I had just passed through. Now, I mentioned that my Nana was transitioning during this time, and these beings were coming for my Nana. They were affiliated with her and me as well. For I have Lyran, I have I have some very strong Lyran alignments as well with my nodes. So it is my belief that the veil during the Lionsgate in years past gave me the ability to interact, exchange, and meet with the beings that were coming. And they were very excited to see my Nana. I know this may sound silly and uncomfortable for some, but um, I think they were there to help with her journey. And I know that they were. So that was just very beautiful and affirming and full circle for my Nana. And I just, it was so beautiful. I was just so touched. And so I just felt compelled to come on and share that story with you about an experience I had during another Lionsgate, what was happening and why. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of my artwork here that I've created of some Lyrans that I have seen. The male Lyran that I saw looked very much like this, and just so beautiful. So let me stop sharing. And I think that that was a wrap. And I think what I would like to close with is, well, first of all, if you want a galactic astrology reading or you want help deciphering the fixed stars that you have in your charts, please visit me at ourgalacticstory.com. And also, if you're interested in doing workshops, I'm teaching people now how to create imagery in Canva. Um, so if that is something that you're interested in and kind of stepping up and creating some very dynamic imagery, let me know. I'm there for it. It's actually on my website, Our Galactic. Oh, there's my camera. ourgalacticstory.com. And so, in closing, I just want to tell you, you are flipping awesome. Like, stand in truth with love on your heart. Be who you are. Be who you are. The world needs you to be who you are. Get to know yourself from today through August 28th. You have nothing but support, guidance, and love. It's an opportunity for you to step into your higher self, step into your multidimensionality, and feel empowered in that. Embody that and let others see you for who you are. You're beautiful. Like, it's crazy pants how beautiful you are. Know that. Enjoy your days. Smell all the smells. Taste all the yummy things. Look at all the beauty that you have and listen. Listen to the wind. Listen to the birds. Listen to the sea and touch things. Touch a flower. Touch your grandbaby's cheeks. Touch yourself. Just be in your human and be grateful for all of the senses that we have and get to know the senses that you haven't experienced yet because you have a lot more than the five senses going on. Use this Lion's Gate to get to know you in all depths and all heights. Just start expanding into everything that you are because it's glorious and it's beautiful. And I see you and I love you. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day. Take good care. There's good things ahead.